It doesn't want us there, or it doesn't want us to talk to anybody. It doesn't want us there in the hospital, period.
He's been called Mr. Black because he always shows up black, and he always shows up huge.
My ghost story began when I moved in and became the caretaker of an old abandoned hospital in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. Basically, the hospital has been empty for 12 years. I came in as a caretaker to take care of the hospital, try to keep it up and give it some sort of dignity. I would be there completely by myself for the whole weekend. It was really spooky. In the surgical area, there are no windows whatsoever. You can't see the hand in front of your face, and you have to rely on flashlights. It's quite unsettling. The caretaker that was there prior to me, he actually died in the building. So I believe that if there's a possibility, he did come back. I tend to hear his voice.
When I very first saw the hospital, I thought, you know, this is a wicked-looking place. My wife had decided that she wanted to get the hospital in order, and she decided, why don't you come in and help me get this hospital in working condition?
You just never know what you're gonna hear or see. One night, Doug was behind me, and he was talking about all the different things that he had to do electrical-wise.
And I went and got my drill, went and got my extension cord, went to plug it in, no power. Went and tried another outlet, no power. I was getting aggravated, and I might have said a few choice words, and I got a response. I heard this man talking to me.
Doug yelled at me down the hallway and said, "Cindy, did you hear that?" And I said, "Did you hear a male voice?"
I said, yeah. And I shut up for a minute, and I heard, check the fuse boxes. I went to the fuse box, every switch was on. I turned them on, and my drill worked. Came to the realization that the hospital might not have had any humans in it, but the hospital wasn't empty, that's for sure.
When I started working up on the 3rd floor in the hospital, I kept hearing a child talking. I had always heard rumors from locals that a little child fell in a storm drain and he passed away in the hospital because they couldn't help him fast enough.
He's tugged on her pants legs before. He's asked her to pick him up.
And I kept thinking, well, wow, I must be losing my mind. So I started carrying a recorder with me. And what I recorded was a child speaking 2 full sentences, asking me to play with him. We call him Buddy. I don't think Buddy's aware that he's passed. It's very emotional for me because I have a son.
She is such a wonderful mother herself. And to think that here is a child that passed on and it's by itself, and it just breaks her up.
About 3 weeks ago, I was on the 3rd floor and I was giving a tour to some people that wanted to see what the hospital looked like now. And we're walking down the psychiatric hallway and I was pointing out different rooms. And as I looked to my right, what I saw was a white, misty form. A friend of mine took a picture. It came running at me, full force, and I thought it was gonna run into me. It was so real. What I saw was a white, misty form. It came running at me, full force, and I thought it was gonna run into me. It was so real, and I physically jumped out of the way because I thought I was gonna get run over. In February, I was down on the weekend. It was late at night. We heard this blood-curdling scream. It was a very long, ah, kind of thing. And it sounded like she was getting tortured. Later on, I found out that there was a woman that was a patient in the room that we were in. And she's had some really, really bad bed sores, and nobody could touch her. And she would lay there and scream all day long. And they had to close the patient's doors because she was screaming the whole time. One night, I was sitting on the 3rd floor and stood up and I looked down at the end of the hallway. And what I saw next was a black shadow that stepped out of the door. I took a picture.
He's been called Mr. Black because he always shows up black, and he always shows up huge.
And it was just standing there at the center of the hallway, and it started coming towards us.
I said, I'm gonna confront this. I'm gonna do this. The closer I got to him, the faster he walked to me. And I said, one of us is gonna give up here, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be me. He continued to walk towards me, and I stopped, and it was just clear as day. I was told to get the H-E-L-L out.
It was a very strong, deep male voice. Coincidentally, we heard like a growl at the same time. It was a "Rrr," and it built into a get out.
I was scared. I'm looking at something that I can't explain. And to this day, I can't explain. I'll probably never, ever be able to explain that.
It doesn't want us there. It doesn't want us on the third floor. It doesn't want us to talk to anybody. It doesn't want us to communicate with anything else. It doesn't want us there in the hospital, period. There's paranormal teams that want to get in and check it out. Some of the photographs are amazing.
When I saw these photos, I thought, wow, this spirit is walking the same halls that I'm walking. When I'm walking up and down these halls and I feel someone breathe on my back or I hear footsteps, is it him?
To see these photographs and to know that this exists scares me.
In the past, I can make heads or tails out of just about anything, but not at the hospital.
For me, these photographs are concrete proof that this place is haunted. I don't know what it is, but I believe that this thing is still in the hospital.